My beloved child, this is the moment when your spiritual eyes must be opened. This is the hour that can no longer be delayed. There is no room for hesitation or lingering. My angel has arisen and spoken, and all of heaven holds its breath in solemn silence, watching the sacred moment you are stepping into. This is no longer a time for vague contemplation or for weighing gain and loss through fleshly wisdom. This is a time of revelation, of unveiling, of a holy calling to the soul that is being pulled between two realms, light and darkness, life and death, truth and deception. My child, tonight is unlike any night you have ever known. It is not merely the transition of hours, but a divine turning point in the spiritual realm. There are nights designed for rest, but there are also nights appointed for destiny to shift entirely. And I say to you, tonight is such a night. A night when the gates of spiritual blindness begin to crack. A night when truths long hidden beneath the dust of dry seasons will begin to surface, clear as the dawn breaking after a long and troubled night. You are standing at that very crossroads, between what has been and what is to come, between the familiar and the promise not yet seen. Do not take this moment lightly. Every word I speak is not a random echo, but a trumpet sounding, awakening the weary chambers of your heart, stirring the remnants of your original longing for true life. This is a call to the soul that has grown too accustomed to compromise, to a gentle slumber that masks great danger. My child, wake up, for you are at the threshold of something great, and yet at the same time you stand before the abyss of a destiny-defining choice. There is one thing I want you to understand clearly. No word from my mouth is ever wasted. No sound from heaven is released without weight and meaning. I do not speak to fill silence. I do not utter words just to be heard. Every decree, every warning, every beat of my divine heart resounds for one purpose alone: to rescue you from the shadows and draw you back into the brilliance of my light. I see you, even when you believe you've been forgotten. I hear you, even when you think you're lost in silence. And tonight, I not only want you to hear my voice again, I want you to feel the urgency. Every delay from this moment on carries consequences you cannot foresee, not because I wish to punish you, but because your time is not as abundant as you think. Tonight is a decisive hour when heaven is ready to act, but it requires a wholehearted response from you. O soul standing between two waters, you can no longer live in that quiet gray zone. You cannot cling to the darkness and still expect to walk in the light. It is time to choose, and to choose with finality. For my light does not dwell with darkness, and eternal life does not share a throne with spiritual death. You cannot remain on the boundary, for the boundary is not the place for those destined for the kingdom. Boundaries are for the hesitant, and the hesitant are easily swept away by the winds of the age, by sweet-sounding lies, by the allure of things that seem harmless. But I know you. I know the turmoil within your heart. I see the battles waging inside you, those unseen by any other. I see your weariness, tired of carrying the weight of living two lives, one before others and another in solitude with the emptiness that haunts you. I see the nights you lie awake, wondering if there's truly anything worth living for, questioning whether there is a path for your soul at all. And I come right into the midst of that night, not to condemn you, but to lay my hand upon you and say, "Rise, for I have chosen you for something far greater." Tonight, you may choose to ignore it. You may choose to silence the voice within, to go on with life as though nothing was ever spoken. But if you do, Your spiritual hearing will slowly begin to fade. My voice will no longer echo as it does today, for your heart will grow calloused to my presence. Yet, if tonight you respond, if you stop everything and say, "Lord, I have heard you. I understand. I want to return," then I, with all the power and mercy of the Living One, will step into your life with restoration, forgiveness, deliverance, and a light like you have never known. You will not walk forward alone. I will go before you, fight for you, and shield you from every scheme of the enemy. I will renew you from the inside out, not only healing the wounds, but giving you a new heart, a reborn soul, and a living hope that cannot be extinguished. But it all begins with a single decision tonight. A simple response, yet one with the power to shift destiny itself. Do not let my word pass by like a fleeting breeze. Let it take root. Let it tear through the darkness that veils your spirit. Let it awaken the part of you that has long been sleeping, the part of you still longing to live a life of meaning, to be known by the Creator and to walk in my divine guidance. My beloved, tonight is not just a fleeting moment in the stream of time. This is a sacred hour, a divine encounter between eternity and your present reality. It is no coincidence that your heart stirs with emotions you can barely name. It is not by chance that there is a restlessness within you, a longing that defies logic. Know this: something very real, very powerful, and deeply significant is in motion, right within your home. An invisible yet mighty wave is moving through the air, stirring the spiritual atmosphere around you. I am shaking what once seemed immovable. I am causing long-shut doors to begin creaking open. In the darkness, where you once believed only silence and abandonment remained, I am at work. A holy shift, a divine reordering is quietly unfolding in the very space that once felt still and untouched. Pause, my child. Slow down for a moment. Don't let the haste of daily life cause you to miss what is being revealed. If you open your spiritual eyes, you will begin to see the signs clearly. It may come through a surprising conversation that unveils something you've never considered. It may manifest as a subtle change in the atmosphere of your home, a shift in attitude, in behavior. But deep in your heart, you will know something is being unveiled. If you learn to listen, not just with your physical ears, but with the spirit within, you will begin to hear whispers that carry great weight. Wordless invitations, fleeting thoughts that you instinctively know did not originate from you. This is the gentle yet sovereign voice of my spirit, speaking into the very place where you live, knocking on the door of your heart. And if you have the courage to answer, I will draw you deeper into spiritual depths you've only skimmed the surface of until now. O child, do not dismiss what you are sensing. I know you sometimes tell yourself, maybe it's just a passing feeling, or it's probably nothing. But your soul does not lie. The spirit within you has already begun to stir. You are standing at the crossroads between darkness and light, between what has been hidden and what is about to be revealed. And now, I am knocking on the door of your spirit once more. Be awakened. Be watchful. Do not underestimate the urgency of this moment. What you are experiencing is not by chance. This is a sacred, divinely appointed hour, a time when the heavens are opening and that which has been hidden in darkness is being brought into the light. It is not only within your heart, but also within your very home, that I am beginning a process of cleansing, of restoration, and of overturning the forces that have remained concealed for far too long. There is a holy stirring taking place. one that is both gentle and relentless, as I prepare to purify the ground beneath your feet. Can you sense it? The subtle irritations now rising to the surface, the long-repressed emotions erupting without warning, the quiet cracks in the foundation of your peace beginning to show. These are not signs of collapse, they are signs of exposure. I am allowing the old things, the hidden things, the small compromises once tolerated, to rise and be seen. Nothing can remain in the shadows when my light begins to shine. Nothing can hide when my presence moves in to dwell in fullness. I am calling forth a complete unveiling so that what is false may be removed and what is true may be firmly established. I will not allow your home, the space where you live, breathe, and pray, to be governed by anything that does not come from me. I will not allow my presence to be hindered by invisible layers of fatigue, unresolved tension, or words left unspoken but hanging in the atmosphere like a silent fog. Therefore, I am moving, I am shining, my light into every corner, both physical and spiritual. I am clearing out the clutter of the unseen so that your home becomes a dwelling place for my glory, and not a hiding place for old. This transformation will require a full awakening from you. This is not a time to remain asleep under the illusion of comfort. This is not the season to settle for just enough and mistake it for peace. True peace is not the absence of noise, it is the presence of truth. And the truth I bring is like fire, it does not leave anything untouched. It purifies, refines, and reveals what has long been buried. You must remain alert. Pay close attention to your thoughts, your words, your choices, for there are things I will uncover, and in that unveiling some relationships will be redefined, some attachments shaken, and some false securities dismantled. But do not be afraid, my beloved. I am not shaking things to destroy you, but to reset and rebuild upon a foundation that is lasting and true. I am about to reveal what has been hidden for too long. Truths in relationships, answers to prayers you thought I had ignored, revelations in the places you have tried to avoid. My light is not coming to shame you, but to free you. Not to accuse, but to heal. Not to expose for harm, but to release you into the freedom your soul has longed for. Every unveiling will serve a purpose, and every purpose is rooted in my goodness. So open your heart, prepare yourself, be willing to see the truth, both the comforting and the confronting. Allow my spirit to examine you, to touch the deepest layers of your living environment and your spiritual atmosphere. Guard the sacred space of your home with prayer, with worship, and with a heart that is sensitive to my presence. Keep the air around you charged with reverence, because I am near in ways you have not yet understood. And to you, my precious child, do not dismiss what is stirring deep within. Do not brush aside that strange sense of unrest that you cannot name. Do not assume that prolonged exhaustion or unexplained unease is merely the product of a difficult day or a long season. No, my child, it is not random. It is a sign. It is the subtle but undeniable knock from within your soul, a holy alarm sounding to alert you that you are in the midst of a divine shift, one you have not fully recognized yet. Pay attention, for I am drawing you into transformation, and I will not leave you unchanged. My soul is gently stirring, trembling like a string catching the first vibrations of an approaching spiritual storm. Before my consciousness can interpret it, before my mind can name what is happening, my inner spirit, the deepest, most sacred place where I am intimately connected with you, has already sensed a shift in the spiritual atmosphere. and it does not remain still. It calls out, it aches, it urges me to listen. The inexplicable weariness, the vague restlessness of the heart, the sense of losing direction amidst familiar surroundings. These are not figments of imagination or fleeting emotions. They are manifestations of an inner shaking. They are a wake-up call from the divine realm, a warning that something is threatening to seize control of my spiritual navigation. The enemy of true life always seeks to quietly install layers of fog into my thoughts, so I can no longer see the path clearly, nor perceive the voice from heaven. It clouds my discernment, causes confusion, and traps me in loops of thinking that lead nowhere near the light. But, my child, rejoice in the midst of this chaos, for your soul is still awake, still sensitive enough to know that something is amiss, still alive enough to feel the trembling in the spiritual atmosphere. That is a precious sign, a confirmation that you are still connected to me, even if you cannot name it yet, even if you feel lost and confused. Your soul is struggling to rise, to break out from the thick shell of long days spent asleep in compromise and false peace. Do not underestimate these subtle tremors, my beloved. Do not dismiss the restlessness of the night or the unease in your spirit as something to be eradicated. These are signals from heaven, a small trumpet sounding from within, reminding you, pause, listen, seek the truth. This is not meaningless discomfort, but the ache of a soul trying to escape the numbness imposed by invisible forces that have long tried to dominate you. Sometimes, the shaking does not come from the outside. It is not the world that is changing, it is you. It is not the circumstances that are crumbling. It is your inner being undergoing purification. And in that process, things will inevitably become unclear. False peace will be stripped away and replaced with a holy unrest, a nameless sigh, an unquenchable hunger that no earthly thing can satisfy. And that is a good thing, my child. For only when you recognize your lack will you truly yearn to be filled. Only when you realize you are lost will you begin to seek the way home. I want you to know, what you are going through is not disorientation. It is an invitation to awaken. This is a trembling born of grace, a divine stirring sent to draw you out of the soothing slumber of spiritual apathy. The enemy delights in silence when you stop seeking me. It doesn't need to cause your obvious downfall, it only needs to dull your hunger. But I will not allow that to happen, and so I permit this gentle confusion to arise, like a breeze that stirs the surface of a still lake, so that you must ask yourself, what is happening within me? My dear one, what you are sensing are the first movements of a new season. It is not yet clear, it does not yet have a name, but it is coming. And your soul, like a sensitive instrument, has already begun to vibrate in tune with the melody of heaven. This may leave you feeling unsteady, but that is as it should be, for no transformation comes without tremors. No rebirth occurs without pain. No awakening begins without first passing through the prelude of holy disruption. I want you to know this: you are not crazy, nor are you as lost as you might think. You are simply being called home. You are simply being awakened. You are simply being reminded that you were created for something higher, deeper, and more real than what you've been settling for. And in those moments when you want to cover your ears, when the call seems too faint to grasp, I am still there, patient, gentle, but never silent. Return to the quiet place. Separate yourself from the noise. Set aside sacred spaces of stillness to listen for my voice. You don't need to understand everything right now. You only need to recognize this. The inner unrest is an invitation to return to the sacred path. It is the first glimmer of a coming dawn. And I am using what you see as chaos to prepare the way for a clarity that is new, pure, and full of power. My beloved, you are being watched, but not in the way the world imagines, not with eyes of suspicion or the judging gazes of men. No, what is happening transcends what the natural eye can see or the human ear can hear. There is a divine observation, a deep attentiveness from the invisible realm focused on you, like the loving gaze of one who has never taken his eyes off your journey, not to judge, but to shield, to guide, and to protect you in every step that feels lonely. Yes, there is movement taking place in the depths of the spiritual world, where time holds no chains, where all is made known in true light. Your soul, though dwelling in a finite body, has begun to resonate with those spiritual waves. You have felt that presence before. A strange breeze passing by, a shiver down your spine with no explanation, a bell ringing in your soul when nothing sounded around you. Many times you've tried to convince yourself it was just imagination, fatigue, or anxiety. But I tell you in truth, it was not, my child. Every moment of confusion, every time you startle awake in the night, every time you turn your head as if someone called your name, these are whispers from the spirit realm, reminders that you are never alone. They are the gentle footsteps of angels patrolling around you. They are the breath of my spirit moving through your mind, inviting you to broaden your vision and step into the sacred dimension you were always meant to belong to. You are not living in a random, undefined world. Every movement around you has purpose. Every vague intuition you feel carries meaning, and now the time is drawing near. The moment when that sacred reality will no longer remain hidden. It will pour in like the morning sun, scattering the darkness, revealing all that was concealed, and awakening in you a deeper knowing. My child, you no longer dwell in the thick layers of forgetfulness and unconsciousness. You are entering a season of awakening, a shift that only those who listen with the heart will be able to perceive. The restlessness you cannot explain, the sudden confusion in moments that should feel peaceful, all of it is a sign. These signs are the awakening bells for your soul. Messages from a realm that may seem distant, but is closer than ever. I have allowed these vibrations to touch you, not to bring fear or uncertainty, but to let you know. The door has opened. The door into deeper understanding, into the sacred dialogue between you and me. My child, you cannot see the fullness of what is unfolding around you, but know this. Spiritual battles are raging even now, waged to shield you from the unseen claws of the enemy. You are being covered under my watchful care, just as a mother spreads her arms to protect her child in the midst of a storm. You are not merely a person walking through ordinary life. You are the chosen one. The blood of sacrifice has marked you, and the power from the eternal realm walks with you. This is why you have begun to sense things others cannot perceive, because your spirit has been awakened. You are learning to live not only through physical eyes and ears, but through the eyes and ears of the soul. You are being trained to recognize my voice amidst the chaos and noise of this world. You are stepping into a sacred sensitivity, something no earthly school can teach, for it is imparted only by the living Spirit. And it is through this very process that you will find yourself transformed. Not an outward change, not a different hairstyle or a shift in appearance, but a deep inward transformation of the spirit. You will feel your heart becoming more tender toward the sacred, and at the same time stronger in the face of darkness. You will no longer fear the unknown. because you have come to know the one who holds your future. I am inviting you into the light, into a truth that is slowly being revealed. Do not fear what you do not yet understand, for I will be the lamp that guides your steps. Do not reject the sacred impressions that come to you, for they are signals from the heavenly realm. Learn to live with that sensitivity. It is a gift I have given you to protect and guide you through days of great upheaval. My child, you are not just another face in the crowd. You are a lamp set upon the mountain, a trumpet sounding the alarm to a generation asleep. What you are going through is not by chance. The presence that surrounds you is proof that you are standing in a divinely appointed moment. And you must know, when the spiritual realm moves, all of creation must listen. So, my beloved, do not turn away. Do not dismiss these signs as tricks of the imagination. Open your heart wide and let my spirit lead you deeper into what I am unveiling. Listen not only with your ears, but with a heart that longs for truth. Let every moment you sense my invisible presence be a reminder that you are living in an extraordinary time, a time when the veil between heaven and earth is thinner than ever before. I am still whispering to you in the dark. I see you in the rush of the crowd. I am comforting you in every silent tear. You are a treasure in my hands, a seed of hope for the harvest of souls. And it is through this sacred sensitivity that you will learn how to live not just to survive, but to shine. In the darkness, in the sorrow, in the uncertainty of this fleeting world, you are being called into depth. Be courageous and respond, for once you truly step in, you will never be the same. You will become a carrier of presence, a vessel of light not born of this world but sent to transform it. And in every moment you feel seen, touched, or closely surrounded, remember, it is I who am there, closer than your breath, loving you more than you ever dared to believe. My beloved child, now I am causing the things once whispered in the shadows to thunder forth like lightning in the noonday sky. The words that once crept behind your back, the dark thoughts hidden beneath the shell of smiles and false embraces. Now I am bringing all of them into the light. Nothing can hide from the truth anymore, for it is I who am unveiling every veil. I will no longer let you live in the fog of uncertainty. I am drawing you out of the long slumber, a trance induced by people and circumstances, disguised with subtle deceptions and sweet but cunning words. I know you could not hear what they whispered to one another after you left the room. You did not see the exchanged glances, the knowing nods, the smirks behind your back. But I saw them, and I remembered every detail, not to plant anger in your heart, but to shield you from prolonged deception, because you are of such great worth, so deeply significant, and the calling within you is too sacred to be suffocated by lies disguised as cold mist. You have lived with an open heart. You gave your trust like the morning light, holding nothing back. You loved without calculation, forgave without condition, and remained loyal even when that loyalty was not returned. Your pure heart moves the heavens. Yet, my child, I have also seen your silent tears. Those moments when you realized your goodness was taken for granted, your sincere affection trampled underfoot as though it were worthless. I saw your heart constrict in disappointment, your eyes dimmed with the weight of betrayal. But do not be quick to blame yourself, for it is that very unconditional love that bears witness to the nobility of your soul. I cherish that gentleness. I treasure that boundless heart. Yet, my child, love does not mean blindness. Kindness should not be a signpost inviting abuse. And forgiveness is not meant to be a doorway for repeated betrayal. I am teaching you this. Wisdom and love do not exclude each other. They must walk hand in hand. As we look, you must learn to love without being consumed. You must learn to listen, but also to discern. Discerning the voice of sincerity from that of pretense. You must cultivate spiritual alertness, a light within your soul that allows you to see beyond words and appearances into the true intent of others. I do not want your heart to become hardened, but neither do I want you to be endlessly wounded by unguarded innocence. I want you to become a soul refined, still loving, still gentle, but sharp as a spiritual sword. I want you to preserve the beautiful essence I placed within you, yet walk shielded by truth. And for this very reason, I am exposing before your eyes what was once hidden. You do not have to search for the truth on your own strength, for I am bringing it to you. I am gradually unveiling the true faces behind the carefully polished masks. You will clearly see who stands for you, who is using you, and who is only playing the role of companion. I will open your eyes so that you are no longer confused, no longer left guessing, no longer burdened by draining one-sided relationships. I will not allow you to remain entangled in the web of deception, for you were not born to live under someone else's shadow. You were born to live in the radiant light of wisdom and authentic love. My child, do not be disheartened when the truth is revealed. Do not let the pain cause you to close your heart. See it as my divine intervention, like a gardener pulling out weeds so that the flowers may thrive. The words spoken behind your back, the slanders, the false actions you couldn't see before, they are now being brought to light so that you may be free, so that you may no longer be bound by toxic attachments. What I expose is not to break you, but to heal you. Healing is not always gentle. Sometimes it is the necessary pain that pulls out toxicity from its very roots. Sometimes it is the storm that overturns everything you believed was secure. Yet even in that chaos, take heart, because beyond the storm lies a sky of clarity that I have prepared for you. No longer will you be left to wonder about the intentions of others. I will give you spiritual eyes that can discern what is real from what is false. And when you begin to walk with this vision, no one will be able to harm you as they once did. I am teaching you how to guard your heart without letting it grow cold. I am giving you wisdom that does not come at the cost of love. You will become someone who carries warmth within, yet shines with such a light that darkness will no longer dare to approach. And in this process, you will come to understand the true value of companionship. Not everyone who walks beside you is a friend, and not everyone who says "I love you" speaks from a place of truth. But I will place around you those who are genuine, whose hearts are honest, and who love unconditionally, just as you always have. You no longer need to carry the weight of defending yourself. Let me be your stronghold. Let me be your place of refuge, and the voice that guides you through the blurred lines between truth and deception. When you dwell in me, no words can wound you, and no lie can escape your awareness. I am the light, and that light within you will expose every hidden thing that once remained in the shadows. Be at peace, my beloved. What is being revealed in this season is not the end. It is the beginning of a journey marked by maturity and freedom. You will no longer walk in confusion or illusion, but in clarity and power. And in every moment where you face the truth, I will be beside you, unshaken, loving, and never turning away. You will no longer be as fragile as before. You will walk carrying my light, not belonging to the darkness of this world, though you live in it. And you will speak to those who are still deceived and say, I was delivered from that place, and you can be too. For this very experience will become your testimony. It will be your weapon. It will be the costly lesson etched in tears but illuminated by glory. And when that day comes, you will thank me, not because the truth was easy, but because the truth set you free. Not because you never felt pain, but because that pain became the doorway into a new season. A season of wisdom, awakening, and steadfastness in genuine love. My dear child, I have never left you. I have always looked upon you with unchanging eyes. My love for you has not shifted, no matter how much the world around you has changed. Pause for a moment and listen closely to the silent rhythm echoing in your spirit. Can you feel it? Is your heart beating a little faster? Not from fear, but from the invisible stirring of encouragement rising from within. Is your soul trembling with a kind of anticipation that words cannot fully describe, as though you are standing at the threshold of something immense and holy? This is not your imagination. This is the signal. It is the trumpet sound of a deep and divine shift that is now unfolding in the spiritual realm. And you, my beloved, are standing at the very center of this wind of transformation. There have been seasons when you walked through the fog, taking each step without knowing what lay ahead. There were days when you felt caught between two worlds, the visible one before your eyes and the invisible one your spirit believed in, even when your natural senses could not perceive it. You doubted your inner discernment. You questioned whether you had exaggerated the sacred things stirring in your soul. You remained silent, trying to blend in, even though deep down you knew you were different. But now I, the one who formed you, speak clearly and without hesitation. Everything you felt was real. Every sign you tried to ignore was true. You are not crazy. You are not imagining things. You heard rightly. You saw rightly. You sensed rightly. And now is the time for me to confirm those things before your very eyes. This moment has not come to make you tremble in fear, but to open your eyes in clarity. This is not a night shrouded in confusion, but a night that marks the end of deception and the dawning of radiant light. You have been veiled in layers of falsehood for far too long, living amidst carefully crafted lies. So much so that you began to question even the truth that lived within you. But I have come to break those chains. I have come to scatter the cobwebs of ambiguity. You will no longer dwell in the gray zone between belief and doubt, for from this point forward, the light I give you will be so strong that nothing can cover it anymore. My beloved, once your eyes have been opened to see, you cannot pretend you have not seen. Once you have tasted the sweetness of truth, you can no longer return to nibble on the crumbs of deception. Once you have stood in the light, the darkness can no longer be your dwelling place. I am calling you to fully step into the sacred reality to which you belong. Not as a stranger arriving, but as a child returning home. And tonight, in this very hour, a divine exchange is taking place. I am not only opening your eyes, but also undoing every invisible chain that has held you back for so long. Deception, no matter how subtle, no matter how beautifully disguised, will be unveiled. Every lie that whispered behind your back, every performance designed to manipulate your emotions, every hidden force that silently bound you in fear, each and every one of them will end this night. You will feel as though a gentle yet powerful wave is sweeping through your soul. A sacred wind will pass through your heavy chest and lift it, returning to you the lightness you had forgotten. I will do this without noise, without fanfare. But you will know, you will feel a freedom you never dared to dream of. The burdens you have carried for years, the burden of needing to please others, the weight of responsibilities that were never yours to bear, the heaviness of guilt you were never meant to carry, will all be lifted by me. My child, this is the night of restoration. This is the night I break apart everything that caused you to lose yourself. I will not only shatter the bindings, but I will restore the truest version of you, the one I crafted from the beginning. You will no longer have to wear a mask to be loved, no longer have to shrink yourself to fit into false molds. You will rise with a straight posture, with eyes full of light, and with a heart that has been healed. I see within you a potential that even you have not dared to believe is real. I see a flame that never went out, even though it was often smothered by the winds of doubt. But tonight, that flame will rise again. It will become a source of light, not just for you, but for those around you who are in desperate need of hope. And they will come to you, not because you have all the answers, but because the light within you will be proof that truth is alive, that freedom is real, and that love is not a fantasy. Dearest one, prepare your soul for a profound transformation. The shifting you are sensing is not a fleeting emotion, but the echo of a heavenly unveiling. Doors in your life that have long been locked will begin to open. Promises that have long been delayed will begin to stir. Dreams that once seemed dead will begin to breathe again. And all of this will not happen by your strength, but by my loving intervention. Believe in what you are feeling. Trust the deep stirring within your spirit right now. It is not random. It is the sound of my call. The divine invitation not only to perceive what is unfolding, but to step into it with courage and unwavering resolve. You are not being shown these things so that you may stand by in silence. You are being summoned to respond, to walk forward in faith, to receive what is being poured out upon you, and to carry it as a vessel of light into the world. Tonight is a sacred turning point. It marks the boundary between what has been and what is coming. You are no longer bound by old words spoken over you, by false labels that once limited you, or by judgments that never belonged to your name. I am redefining you by my own voice, and in this new definition, there is no place for shame, no room for fear, and no hold for the chains that once restrained you. What I declare over you is freedom, identity, and purpose. And in that there is no captivity. You are about to be lifted into a higher realm, not merely in intellectual understanding, but in the profound depth of spiritual perception. Your eyes are being refined to see with clarity, your spirit sharpened to discern with truth. Everything I have planted in your heart, every quiet whisper I spoke into your soul during moments of silent surrender, is now beginning to step root and rise. This is the moment where you begin to step into the fullness of revelation I have long prepared for you. Not one tear has been wasted. Not one moment of silence was in vain. And yet, my beloved, with the unveiling of glory comes the call to vigilance. Stay awake. Guard your heart and your mind in clarity and light. This is not the time to entertain the compromises of darkness, or to waver beneath the charm of empty words. This is a time for decisive devotion. Only in full awareness can you receive the entirety of what I am entrusting to you. If you are not watchful, you may miss the most defining moment of your life without even realizing it. You cannot afford to fall back into the old rhythms that dulled your spiritual senses. You must not return to the former way of life. Do not allow yourself to drift into complacency or spiritual blindness. What I am revealing now requires a heart that is tender yet unyielding, a spirit that is humble yet fierce. Learn to hear not just with your ears, but with the depths of your soul. Learn to see not just with natural eyes, but through the lens of divine wisdom that comes from above. Do not let the clamor of the world drown out the soft and sacred whisper of my spirit within you. This is the moment, not tomorrow, not when you think you are more prepared. This is the divine hour, an appointed time for unveiling. What was once hidden, what was once shrouded behind the veil of time, is now being gently revealed, and as truth rises, it will not only illuminate the world around you, it will shine into the very core of who you are, uncovering the hidden chambers of your heart, even those places you once feared to confront. When my light reaches the deepest part of your being, you will no longer be able to live as before. You will realize that what you once held as truth was merely a shadow of what is real. You will see those you once trusted with new discernment. Situations that once appeared meaningless will suddenly carry sacred weight, and you will understand that nothing has been random. Every moment, every wound, every waiting season has been part of the design I wrote for your life. Even in the pain, my purpose has been unfolding. Tonight will become a defining memory, a night unlike any other, not because of outward circumstances, but because something within you is shifting. A spiritual revolution is taking place deep in your soul. You will forever remember this moment, not because I am just now revealing, but because you are finally ready to see. You have been trained in the fire of affliction, in the shadows of solitude, and in the valley of tears, to stand exactly where you are now. This is where I need you, and you are prepared for it. You will mark this night as the night of restoration, the night where old burdens were lifted, where invisible weights were broken off your weary shoulders. This is the hour of breakthrough. The things that once caused you to stumble, the voices that once held power over you, will no longer have authority in your life. From this moment on, you will walk forward as one who has seen truth face to face, whose life has been forever touched by a light that cannot be dimmed. When that moment comes, you will know with an unshakable certainty that it was I who revealed all these things to you. It was not by your own discovery. It was not the world that granted you that light. It was I, with everlasting love and unwavering care, who opened your eyes and reached down to pull you out from the depths of deception and darkness. And when you come to know this, your heart will be set free. No longer will you be like a child tossed about by every wind. No longer will your soul wander aimlessly, searching in vain for light. You will rise with a newfound resolve, with a faith that cannot be shaken. You will begin to walk not in fear, but in the deep conviction that you are called, chosen, and equipped for a purpose far greater than yourself. My beloved, the fullness I have prepared for you is unlike anything the world can offer. It is not measured by success as the world defines it, nor is it secured by wealth or fame. This fullness comes from stepping completely into the place you were created to occupy. It is when you live fully aligned with the identity I gave you before the foundations of the world were laid. It is when your soul begins to sing the song I composed uniquely for your life. But to live in that fullness, you must have the courage to let go of what is old. The old mindsets, the old habits, and even the relationships that no longer carry life. You must be willing to release what you thought was necessary, but is in truth holding you back from soaring. You must learn to trust entirely in my guidance, even when everything around you remains unclear. For it is faith that will become your wings, carrying you into the promised land, where clarity, peace, and power walk hand in hand with every step you take. And you will see that as you step into what I have revealed, everything else will begin to fall into place. The questions that once kept you awake at night will find their answers. The empty spaces in your heart will be filled with my presence. And you will come to realize that the wholeness you longed for was never found in anything outside of you, but in me, in your full surrender, in your willingness to walk entirely into the light of my revelation. So, my child, receive this moment with all reverence. Let it become the turning point that shapes the rest of your journey. Do not look back. Do not grieve what is behind. Lift your head, look forward, and walk into the light that has just broken open before you. For once you have seen, you cannot return to how things once were. And that alone is the clearest sign that you are now walking in truth, the truth that I myself have revealed to you. Still your heart and be attentive, for from this very moment, an invisible veil is being gently lifted from your eyes. Those things you once dismissed as fleeting emotions, the sudden quickening of your heartbeat without reason, the quiet sense that something beyond was watching you, none of it was random. It was not mere imagination, nor hypersensitivity as others may have told you. It was the echo of the divine realm colliding with your spirit, awakening within you a sacred intuition that only those who are called can truly perceive. You have pushed these sensations away many times, believing them to be fatigue, the result of sleepless nights or accumulated anxiety. But I tell you this in truth, every one of those signs was a tender reminder from the Eternal. You were never insane, never weak, nor a mere dreamer. On the contrary, you are one I have chosen to see what ordinary eyes cannot see, to hear what the natural ear cannot hear. You carry within you a divine discernment, a doorway between heaven and earth, that only awakened souls may enter. As you read these words, powerful movements are unfolding in the unseen realm surrounding you. All of heaven is watching your every step, and hell is not standing still either. A battle between light and darkness is taking place. Not in some distant land, but right where you live, in the very air you breathe. In your nightly dreams and your daily thoughts, angels are standing guard around you, while the enemy whispers deceitful words, hoping to make you shrink back from the light you are advancing toward. You were not created merely to survive, but to discern, to stand firm amid the unseen turmoil that much of humanity remains asleep to. You have been given spiritual eyes to see beyond the surface of things. That is why you struggle to sleep when others do not, why your heart is stirred by things most people deem ordinary. You are in a season where your gift of spiritual discernment will be awakened to a depth you've never known. Tonight, a new frequency is resonating in the spirit realm, and I am tuning your spirit to catch it. You will begin to clearly recognize which voice is mine and which is the echo of the enemy. You will no longer be misled by half-truths or by words that sound moral yet conceal manipulation. I will teach you to listen not only with your ears, but with the sensitivity of your soul. You will know when I am speaking, for my voice will touch the deepest place within you, the place where peace cannot be shaken, where light cannot be extinguished. My child, I want you to understand that you are not alone on this journey. The movements in the unseen realm are not happening because you are under attack, but because you are about to step into an entirely new season, a time when your influence on earth will ripple further than ever before. It is for this reason that the enemy has tried to make you doubt yourself, to make you believe you are weak, lost, or failing. But it is in this very warfare that you are being trained to recognize the true power I have placed within you. Every time the atmosphere around you feels heavy, every moment your mind grows chaotic for no clear reason, every dream that carries a sense of strangeness, do not dismiss them. Understand that these vibrations come from a battlefield that is stirring. But you are not a victim. You are a warrior. You are not caught in this war by accident. You have been strategically placed in the right moment, in the right place, to stand in the gap and shine light into where darkness seeks to hide. You will learn to recognize the nearness of angels when they are with you. You will begin to see that what you once called coincidence is actually intentional intervention. Timely words, dreams with messages, unexplainable impressions. These are the ways the heavens are speaking to you. Do not disregard the small things. In every silent tear, in every sigh that seems meaningless, I am still speaking to you. And then, the time will come when you will not only discern the voices, but you will learn to walk according to the true call of heaven. No longer swayed by fleeting emotions, no longer led by shifting circumstances, but grounded in a journey anchored in revelation. You will no longer hesitate between two paths, no longer live in prolonged uncertainty, for now you will know, and know with clarity, which path is mine. My beloved, what is taking place in the invisible realm is not meant to frighten you, but to remind you just how significant you are in my divine plan. You are not just a small part of a larger picture. You are a distinct and vibrant stroke of purpose. And because of that, all of heaven is turning its gaze toward you. Angels are receiving their orders. Signs are being sent. Everything is being set into motion to prepare you to step fully into the place I have prepared for you. So do not be afraid when you feel different. Do not be ashamed when you cannot explain what you are sensing. Instead of running away, draw closer to me. Offer me all your confusion, every doubt and every silent fear, for I will turn them into the foundation of spiritual boldness within you. From this very night, my chosen one, you will no longer see the world through your old eyes. A new season begins. A season where you will live not just to see, but to perceive. Not merely to hear, but to understand. My will. And then, in every decision, in every action, you will carry with you divine understanding from above, strength from my spirit, and the light of the one who has called you to discern the unseen. Rise up, with eyes burning bright, a heart strengthened, and a soul ignited. For from now on, you are not merely one who perceives the movements of the spirit realm. You are a part of that very movement, and the world will recognize. There is one marked by heaven living among them, bearing a power and a calling that cannot be extinguished. That one is you. This is the moment. This is now. Do you know this? Every step you take, every breath you breathe, every night you close your eyes and sigh in silence, none of it escapes my gaze. I have seen it all. I have watched your quiet efforts and the subtle schemes of darkness that have tried to infiltrate and shake your faith. These plots have not come through obvious attacks, but have crept into your mind like a thin mist, gentle yet persistent, planting in your heart unspoken questions, doubts, and nameless unease. Even within your very home, the place meant to be your sanctuary of peace, there have been nights when your heart trembled without knowing why, moments when the atmosphere around you grew heavy, as if something unseen was silently observing each breath, each whispered prayer. You've wondered if you were wrong, if you had strayed, if the light you pursued was truly strong enough to dispel the haunting whispers. At times, you turned away from these emotions, fearing that if you faced them head-on, you would be swallowed by a formless dread. But today, I come to declare this: the disturbance is being brought to an end. Every force that sought to sneak into the space that belongs to you is now being cast out. I am giving them no further ground to sow fear or doubt within you. For where my presence dwells, darkness has no place to remain. I am cleansing the atmosphere around you, not with a raging whirlwind, but with the glorious stillness of my spirit. My presence is now being dispatched to your very bedroom, to the place where you lay your head after a weary day. Not a single inch of the space you inhabit shall remain a hiding place for darkness. Every corner, every breath, every silence of the night is now being filled with my life and my light. My child, I know what you have endured in silence. No one heard your quiet weeping in the dark, but I recorded every tear. No one saw the weariness in your soul as you faced invisible pressures, but I have always been there, waiting for the moment you would cry out for help so I could act. And now, I come not only to comfort, I come to reestablish eternal peace over your home and over your soul. You no longer need to tremble when night falls. There is no need to question what you are sensing. You don't have to shrink into silence or face the weight of your emotions alone. I am surrounding you with a sacred shield, not made of visible walls, but of the unshakable power of my spirit. My presence will be like a steady, gentle flame burning in your room, guarding your sleep and purifying all that once tried to enter with unclean intent. More than that, I am cleansing the space of your mind, the place that has been disturbed by deceitful words and voices of denial, the thoughts that once left you confused, the ones that made you doubt yourself, the lies that cast shadows on your worth. I am sweeping them away. I am giving you a renewed mind, an awakened spirit, and a heart no longer governed by fear. My beloved, you were not created to live under constant watch or looming dread. You were made to dwell in complete peace, not the kind the world gives, but the kind that comes from me, the source of life, the stronghold for your soul. And now, I am restoring that peace to every part of your life, not just a portion, but every aspect. Body, mind, emotions, and spirit. From now on, whenever you lay down to rest, you will feel as though an invisible blanket is being placed over your soul. That is my presence. When you close your eyes, you will no longer see fearful images in your mind, but visions of peace and gentle light from heaven. When you pray, your words will no longer be blocked by invisible walls. They will rise straight to the heavens like a sweet fragrance before my throne. You will begin to feel the transformation from within. Every spiritual ground within you that was once occupied by fear, doubt, or wounds will now be illuminated by my healing presence. I am not merely driving away the darkness. I am taking up residence in your living space and in your soul. And where I dwell, no force dares to approach. Your room will no longer be a place where you hide from the world, but a place where you meet me, a sanctuary of light, a dwelling where I reside and speak with you. You will find not only physical rest, but rest for your soul. I will whisper to you in the night, giving you revelations, sacred dreams, and the wisdom you need for the journey ahead. My child, from this day forward, you will not merely be a resident in that house. You will become one who establishes my kingdom of light within it. For wherever you set foot, my presence goes with you. Every room you enter will be affected by the light you carry. Every prayer you offer will break the invisible chains that have bound your living space. And you will look back on this very moment as the one where everything began to change, not outwardly, but from within. Your mind will be renewed. The atmosphere around you will be transformed. Your soul will be ignited. Your home will become a temple where I dwell. And you, beloved, will be the one who carries my presence into dry places, into souls trembling with fear, just as you once did. Be steadfast, my beloved child, for I have begun a new work in your life. I am not only breaking the invisible attacks against you, I am establishing my unshakable peace upon you. Everything that once sought to steal your rest, your focus, and the peace within your soul is now being driven back by the eternal light of my presence. As your heart begins to soften and your spirit stops resisting, opening instead in humility, it is then that I begin to gently draw back the veil that once concealed the deep things from your sight. This veil is not a permanent barrier, but a boundary I have held in place until the moment you were ready to receive what no eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no mind has ever imagined. You have not been forgotten. The timing simply had not come. But now, that moment has arrived. Quiet, yet decisive, like the sound of a trumpet piercing through the stillness of night. When you begin to listen, not just with your natural hearing, but with spiritual ears refined by years of endurance and overcoming, I will speak. I will speak with clarity, no longer in riddles or fragmented dreams. I will speak in the language your soul understands, the language of love, truth, and restoration, and when you hear it, you will know beyond all doubt that it is I who speaks. Many times you have asked, when will it be time? The time when clarity replaces confusion, when light comes and dispels all doubt. You have waited, longed, and at times felt as if you had collapsed upon the road of hope. But now, as you rise, as you begin to guard your heart and no longer allow fear to lead you, the darkness trembles, not because you shout or make grand gestures, but because the enemy fears an awakened spirit, a soul that knows its identity, stands firmly upon truth, and is shielded by divine power from the Most High. O child, when you take your place as a watchman, no longer asleep in false security, every scheme of darkness against you will unravel. For one awakened person is the nightmare of the enemy. And this is what is happening. As you step out of the shadows, you are becoming a lamp that cannot be hidden, a bell ringing through the night, a clarion call to a generation longing for light, but not knowing where to find it. Yet more than an awakening, I am calling you to face the truth about yourself, about what has happened, and about the divine intention behind all that once seemed meaningless, not to cause you more pain, but to lead you into deep and lasting healing. Only when you look truth in the face, without turning away, can I touch the places in you still broken, still silently bleeding. And when truth is received in my light, it ceases to be a burden and becomes the key that unlocks freedom. You are stepping into a new season, not the barren land of endurance, but a wide-open field of restoration. There, what was once stolen will be returned. There, what seemed lifeless will be called back to life. You will be shielded from the arrows of the enemy, not with armor of iron, but with divine protection that surpasses every boundary. And it will not end there. You will be sent out, not as one carrying fear, but as one who bears the presence of the one who has called and anointed you. You will not walk alone. I will go before you to prepare the way. I will walk beside you to uphold you. I will come behind you to guard you. Every step you take will be covered in my guidance, and wherever your feet tread, light will follow. The enemy will know that you are no longer easily shaken. Others will see the light in your eyes, the peace in your voice, and the quiet yet steadfast power in all that you do. Tonight, my child, is not just another night. This is the night of revelation, a night when what has long been hidden is unveiled. This is the night of divine exchange, a night when the burdens of old are lifted off your shoulders and a new crown is placed upon your head. This is the night of beginnings, the beginning of a journey marked by heaven itself, a path that has been designed just for you since before the foundation of the world. Do not hesitate. Step forward. Do not let fear deceive you into thinking you are not ready, for if not now, then when? And if not you, then who will take the stand? Heaven is waiting at the threshold, not merely with open arms, but with the welcome reserved for a child returning to their divinely appointed place. The moment you cross that invisible line, all of heaven will erupt in celebration, for one has awakened, a warrior has been equipped, a light has been ignited in the deepest darkness. You are no longer the one who was defeated. You are no longer the one who runs. You are the chosen. You are the marked. You are the one entrusted with authority to declare what I have planted within your heart. And tonight, this very night, is the moment for you to rise, not by your own strength, but in the power of the one who called you by name, who healed you with love, and who now sends you forth with unshakable might. My beloved child, each day you wake and step into the flow of life. You may not realize it, but I am silently releasing to you a portion of divine essence, a current of life unseen, yet more powerful than any force within the visible world. It is this very stream that has kept you standing through days when everything felt like it was falling apart, that soothed your heart when it was broken, that brought gentle light into moments where no way forward seemed to exist. You may not sense it through your natural senses, but your spirit knows deeply. My life is continuously flowing into you, not as a fleeting miracle, but as a steady, faithful, unceasing rhythm. It is this life force that is restoring within you what once seemed withered by weariness and woundedness. It is this very breath that strengthens your inner being when you feel like letting go, when you sit in silence with unanswered questions, when your eyes look to the future and see only a mist-covered horizon. I do not stop releasing life into you, for I am rebuilding the broken pieces of your soul. I am sustaining you through each trying day. I am replenishing your strength after the world has drained your faith, your freshness, and your hope. I know exactly what you've walked through, the hidden aches no one else sees, the silent sacrifices you never speak of. I overlooked nothing, and because of that, I will not let you move forward in a state of depletion. I give you strength, drawn from the eternal realm, not from people, not from things, but straight from the heart of the one who loves you with an unchanging love. My breath is poured into your soul each day, not only to keep you alive, but to remind you that I am here, closer than your very breath, more real than any feeling. My love is not a distant concept. It is a living presence that surrounds you. In every moment you feel alone in your struggle, in every time you feel weary, fragile, or lost amidst the chaos of life, I am there, lifting you up with hands full of mercy. You don't need to pretend to be strong before me. You don't need to smile when your heart is breaking. I see you exactly as you are, and I love you fully, just as I did from the very beginning. I don't love a perfect version of you. I love you in your stumblings, in the moments when you feel ordinary, defeated, or ashamed. My love does not waver when you are weak. On the contrary, it shines brightest in those very moments, for that is when I am your helper, your shelter, your source of new strength. My beloved, you are never abandoned. There has not been a single moment in your life when my love has paused, grown distant, or turned cold. Whether you realize it or not, I am holding you close. Whether you trust or doubt, my arms remain open. I am leading you through each day, through every decision, through seasons that seem unclear and uncertain. Even when you cannot see the road ahead, I am carving a path through the darkness for you, for my light is not bound by your sight. You are never alone, not even once. When you walk through deep valleys, I walk beside you. When you ascend mountaintops, I uphold you. When you grow weary and pause, I am your place of rest. When you are misunderstood, I am the one who understands. When you are wounded, I am your healer. And when you can't find the words to pray, I still hear the groanings of your heart, and I turn them into prayers that rise to heaven. I am nourishing you with things unseen by human eyes, while others look at you and cannot comprehend how you are still standing, still hoping, still carrying light in your eyes. It is because I am pouring into your soul an unceasing stream of life. I am filling your heart with drops of comfort, rays of hope, and the very breath of peace. Not because you are good enough, but because you are mine. No one else can take your place in my heart. No one can steal the love I have for you. No stain can make me turn away. No mistake can change my good plans for your life. I chose you, not because you are perfect, but because you are the one I have loved since the beginning. This love does not arise from your achievements. It is not tied to your success. It flows from the very essence of who I am, for I am love. And when you truly understand this, when you allow my love to seep into the deepest wounded places within you, you will no longer feel lost. You will know that you belong. You will see that you have a place to return to, a hand that never withdraws, a heart that never changes. Be at peace, my child. I am still holding you every day. You may not feel it, but I am covering you under the shadow of my wings. The disasters that never touched you didn't come near not because they didn't exist, but because I stopped them. The storms you never saw, I silenced them before they arrived. The doors that seemed permanently shut, I quietly opened so you could walk through, and you may never know all I have done for you, simply because I love you. And I never waited for you to earn that love. I am doing something profound within you, a reshaping from the inside out, in a realm unseen by human eyes, where only I and your soul meet in sacred silence. I am not only lifting you from disappointment, not only wiping your tears after long days of confusion, I am realigning the posture of your inner being, the posture of one who is called, anointed, and established to walk in boldness and power. Every part of you is being realigned by me, not to make you like someone else, but to return you to the original design I crafted from the beginning, a being of strength clothed in humility, a warrior endowed with divine resilience, and a trailblazer ignited by the fire of heaven. I am training you to stand tall, not bowed under the weight of the past, not swayed by the winds of doubt, nor shaken by the dissonant voices around you. My beloved, I am resetting your footsteps on solid ground, so that each step you take will no longer be driven by fleeting emotions or unstable circumstances. I am making you steadfast, not just in your choices, but in your soul, in your nature, and in the deep awareness that you were created for a purpose far greater than anything you have ever imagined. You will no longer wander in uncertainty, no longer question, "Who am I?" or "Which path is right?" For I am now writing clarity within your heart, clarity of direction, of purpose, and of your very reason for being. I am giving you unshakable strength, not a strength meant to impress, but one meant to endure through trials, not a power to dominate others, but a might to rise above fear, to cross deep valleys and scale towering mountains. I am fortifying your spiritual feet so they will not sink into the mire of doubt, nor falter on the rugged terrain of life. You will walk forward with holy boldness, because I move with you in every rhythm and every stride. And you will see this, you will feel this in the days to come. You will know that it was not by your own doing that you suddenly gained the power to forgive, the courage to face truth, or the endurance to keep going when everything seemed to fall apart. That is me. That is me breathing new life into your spirit. Ordinary air cannot revive what is dead. But the breath of my spirit can awaken what you thought was long extinguished, dreams you buried deep, aspirations you deemed unworthy. These will come alive when touched by my breath. I am not merely stirring your potential, I am bestowing power for you to rise like an eagle across the open skies. When my appointed time comes, and it is drawing near, you will no longer wait in quiet resignation, but you will soar, leaving behind the safety of the familiar and entering the space I have prepared for you. You will no longer be confined by limitations others have placed upon you. You will no longer seek permission to be who you truly are. I will lift you above your circumstances, beyond prejudice, past self-imposed limits. And in that moment, none will be able to deny that you have been touched by me. But my child, even as I give you the strength to rise, I also plant within you a deep peace, a peace that does not make you loud, but makes you still. Not one that rushes you, but one that teaches you to walk in step. I do not want you to run ahead without my command, nor to remain idle when the time to act has come. I am teaching you to walk in the sacred rhythm, where you are not pulled by the world's pace, yet are never behind in the mission I've entrusted to you. You will learn to move, not from pressure, but from the divine prompting in every breath. There will be moments when I cause you to move swiftly, like wind rushing through a meadow, and there will be moments when I ask you to pause beside still waters, simply to sip from the cup of peace and be restored. In both states, whether soaring or resting, I am still leading. For my aim is not to make you productive by human standards, but to shape you into my image, step by step. Let me redefine your understanding of strength. Strength is not found in constant busyness or in achieving victory. True strength lies in your ability to listen to me in the midst of turbulence. It is the wisdom to not let success drown out the voice from heaven. Strength is the courage to say no to what seems good in order to wait for what comes from me. And when you walk in that kind of strength, you will become unshakable in the face of any storm. My beloved child, I know that you have trembled before. You have doubted yourself. You have wanted to retreat because you weren't sure if you had what it takes to go on. But today, I speak with certainty. You are not walking alone. You are not moving forward in your own strength. I am the one who lifts your feet. who aligns your posture, who anoints your forehead and calls you into a new season. And it will not be just you who feels this transformation. Those around you will notice the change in the light within your eyes. They won't be able to explain why you didn't fall as they expected, why you remained steadfast after so many blows, why you are still gentle despite the pain. They will witness a kind of majesty in you, one that does not come from status, but from a divinity that has been restored. For I am the one giving you a stance that no one can bend, the stance of the chosen. Hold this truth close to your heart. Whether you are standing in the valley or ascending the heights, I am your source of strength. Whether you are walking briskly in victory or treading slowly through the wilderness, I am the rhythm guiding your steps. And whether you are preparing to take flight or simply pausing to rest, I am the wind lifting you up, the place of peace where you take refuge. So do not fear when you find yourself changing. Do not hesitate when your steps begin to grow steadier, for this is the sign that I am renewing you. Believe that the transformation you are undergoing is not meant to make you someone you're not, but to return you to who you were always meant to be. There are seasons in life when you will feel an urgent stirring, a mighty wind from heaven, urging you to act, to move swiftly, to seize the precious opportunities being laid before you. In those moments, every door seems to open, every once blurry vision becomes clear, and a new surge of energy from me is poured into your soul. Powerful, compelling, ablaze. That is the time for action, for bold commitment, for stepping forward in great faith. I will place in your heart the courage to advance, and you will see that as you obey, grace will pour down like rain upon a dry field. Every step you take in response to that call will be the step of one who is sent, carrying my mark and my power. But there will also be seasons when no clear movement is visible. There will be days when everything around you seems still, as if the world has paused and you have been left alone in an endless silence. You will want to rush to find an exit, to demand answers, to grasp at a reason for the stillness. You will feel as though you've been placed in a nameless shadow where there is no clear direction, no cheering voice, no human affirmation. But my child, it is in that very stillness that I am teaching you the most precious lesson: how to stop, how to listen with your soul, how to simply be present in my presence, without doing, without striving, just being still and knowing that I am God. Not every act is a sign of faith. Sometimes, true faith is sitting quietly in the unknown, seeing nothing with clarity, yet still believing that I am working behind the veil, still trusting that I am orchestrating everything according to a plan so good, so vast, you cannot yet comprehend it. When you do not see me moving, it does not mean I am absent. Sometimes, silence is the sign of a greater preparation unfolding, one you never expected. My child, if you run ahead of my timing, you will soon grow weary. If you rush into action without waiting for my confirmation, you may lose the precious things I am preparing for the appointed time. Do not try to move ahead of me. Do not let impatience pull you away from the rhythm I have set, for every step I take is perfect, not early, not late, but always right on time. And you are invited to flow in that divine rhythm, not to create a separate current driven by your own desires. I have seen your moments of restlessness, your worries, and the times you allowed the voices around you to distract you from resting in me. There were moments when you believed that unless you acted immediately, you would miss out on the best. But what you didn't see was that in your haste, you were actually missing out on the good I was preparing for the right season. My beloved, delay is not always defeat. Sometimes it is protection, a necessary pause for deeper preparation, for stronger roots before stepping into something greater that awaits you. Do not let fear creep into your soul like a thief in the night. Do not allow what is unknown or not yet understood to become a burden upon your mind. I am watching over every small detail of your journey. I do not lead you by chance. I orchestrate all things with wisdom far beyond human understanding. Every opportunity, every door, every person I bring into your life, each one is carefully placed by my loving hand. I know exactly when you need to run, and I know when you need to rest. I will speak clearly to you, if you are willing to listen in stillness. Do not seek me in the noise. Seek me in the quiet moments, where the world cannot intrude, where only you and I remain. There, you will hear my voice, not in a shout, but in a powerful and tender whisper, enough to guide you step by step, day by day. When you learn to abide in me, you will no longer be led by fluctuating emotions. You will no longer chase after external validation or crave the praise, the recognition, or the comparisons with others. You will walk not in haste, but in confidence, because you will know my voice, and you will know that you are being led by the one who loves you perfectly. My guidance is never chaotic. You may not see the full picture, but I am the artist of your life, and every stroke I paint carries deep meaning. At times, I use darker shades to bring depth. At times, I leave space to highlight the light. Trust that even though your life's painting is not yet complete, the hand that is creating it is the wisest hand in the universe. And then you will walk with a peace so deep that no one can take it away. A peace that does not come from having all the answers, but from the certainty that you are in the right place at the right time under my divine guidance. You will no longer be swept up in the hurried rhythms of the world. You will no longer feel misplaced, for you will know, I am the one who goes before you, and I am also the one who walks beside you. My child, you do not need to know everything before you take a step forward. You only need to know one thing. I am faithful. I am the light upon your path, and I will never abandon you in the middle of your journey. Even when you walk through the shadows, I am the lamp to your feet. Whether you are on the heights or in the depths, near or far, my presence wraps around you, like the gentle morning mist embracing the earth. So rest in me. Listen closely. Be still if you must. And when the time comes, rise. Strong and unwavering, for my light will illuminate the road ahead of you, and my voice will be the compass for your every step, not by might nor by power, but by my spirit. You will walk the right path, and you will not go astray. I am holding your hand, and I will not let go. Just keep walking, one step at a time, in the rhythm I have ordained. For this journey is not merely about reaching the destination. It is about being transformed with every step. Transformed to become more like me, stronger in spirit, and aligned with the destiny I have prepared for you. Now, offer me your heartfelt prayer. Lord, I do not want to close my eyes in spiritual slumber. Please, awaken my spirit. As night falls, Do not let my soul be lulled to sleep by weariness or the temptation of complacency. Open the eyes of my heart so that I may recognize what is shifting in the unseen. Make me sensitive to the truth that is rising within my living space. I refuse to give in. I refuse to compromise. I stand firm in your holy name and declare that I will not miss the appointed moment of revelation prepared for me. Lord, I know that darkness is not mere emptiness. I recognize that there is a force seeking to infiltrate, manipulate, and disguise itself as normal. But in your holy name, I declare the power of light to overcome all darkness. I cast out every presence that does not belong to you from my home. Every curse, every invisible shadow, every subtle disturbance, I break them all in the name of the one who died and rose again for me. Tonight, my home belongs to you and you alone. Lord, I ask that you unveil every mask of deception. Bring into the light what has been hidden. Show me the truth of hearts so that I am no longer deceived by gentle exteriors. I do not wish to live in blind innocence anymore. Grant me spiritual eyes to see what is real and to discern rightly. Whoever does not walk in the light, may they walk out of my life. Rescue me from every misaligned loyalty. I choose to hear the truth, even when it hurts, because truth sets me free. Lord, please watch over my very home. I ask you to cover every door, every window frame, and every pathway within my house with the precious blood of the Lamb. Whatever does not belong to you, do not allow it to dwell in my living space. I renounce every object, word, or presence that has opened a door for darkness to enter. Cleanse all disruptive energy and establish your eternal peace. I declare, my house is a temple of your presence. No one can take away what you have given. Lord, I refuse to live in a passive posture. Grant me the courage to act, even in the night. Help me not only to hear, but to respond, not only to sense, but to rise. I will not let another night pass without seizing the spiritual authority you have placed within me. I no longer fear the unseen, for I know the one who sees all is moving on my behalf. I choose to speak. I choose to resist. I choose to step into the role you have assigned me. And as I act, shake every hidden force lurking around me. Lord, break the power of every word spoken against me, every sentence laced with false authority, every toxic declaration, every hidden scheme. I break them now in the name of Jesus. Words spoken behind my back, whispers no one heard, let them now resound in the light of your holy justice. I am not governed by human intent. I live under your power alone. Erase every lingering trace and anchor my lips on the foundation of eternal truth. Lord, I know this is no longer a season of guessing. Truth has come knocking at the door of my life. Open my eyes to a new vision, a higher level of discernment, and an unprecedented clarity. Lead me into a new season where confusion no longer exists, where my heart no longer questions what is real. I long to live in the radiant light of revelation. I want to see everything as you see it, and from this moment on, I walk in confidence, for truth has shattered the spiritual blindness within me. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. If you love the Lord, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a message full of meaning and life from God. Together we will grow in faith and live a life fully rooted in His love. Amen.